both sides to take questions for them.
Nick, I was wondering, first half, you pop one on the first play, you guys had things going offensively, and then fumbles, the stuff on fourth down. How much did it feel like you guys left points on the board, and it could have been a much different game?
Yeah, you're right. We left a lot of points on the board, and early on we were moving the ball successfully on them in the run game and the passing game, and we get into the red zone, we just shoot ourselves in the foot, and we make mistakes, and we have a lot of self-inflicted negatives. And especially with great teams like that, Ohio State, in order for us to compete with teams like that, we can't do that. So that it was tough and it was hard, and like you were saying, we built a lot of confidence because we weren't running the ball, but it hurts our drives, and we keep going back because of turnovers and because of missed opportunities.
Nick, we've talked to you after wins, and now we're talking to you after loss against a great team. What's the mindset now for you? What's the mindset for the team, just going forward?
Yeah, at the end of the day, we got to play another game in 6 days. We got to launch about to Oregon. So it hurts, getting blown out in our house, and it happened. It is what it is. We got to learn from it. We have to move on, and you can't sit in this, And I think one of the things that we said in the locker room, which is really important, is that it's easy for good teams, for great teams, which I believe we have, to get to this point in the season where we lose a couple games and now it can go downhill. And I think the message of the locker room is for us not to allow that to happen. For us to be able to continue to push forward, because you have a great team, and we're hurting ourselves, which is why we're unable to be successful. So if we're able to stop those self-inflicted negatives and continue to keep our confidence high, because we have a great team, and continue to work, especially this important week with being short against Oregon, is going to take a lot of work. So we have to go in there with a new week, a new mindset, with new confidence, getting ready to play on Friday night.
All right, thank you. Chris.
I know nobody wants to hear the moral victory speech, but how do you kind of juggle that? How do you juggle seeing, like Coach said, the scoreboard 38-7 versus those first 4 drives being in the red zone and having those chances? How do you guys process that and talk about that with each other to kind of keep us here?
Yeah, I think first we just have to be real with ourselves. We have to hold ourselves accountable as far as the mistakes that we're making as an offense, to put ourselves in predicaments where we can't finish the red zone, like turning the ball over, not holding on to the football, things like that. And then going from there, now the question is, okay, what are you going to do going into the next week for you to be able to change that? It's been back-to-back games where you have the same problems, not being able to finish the red zone, having a lot of turnovers in the red zone. So what can we do going into this week so that doesn't happen come Friday night?
Who was in the locker room saying not to let it snowball after this game?
Anthony Jones Jr. transfer. He was the guy that really spoke up because he's been a part of teams like this. He's been a part of good teams that were great, and then they get into a rough stretch and lose a couple games, and now the season goes all the way down. So he was very vulnerable and sharing us his experience with that, and also motivating us as a team. Like, hey, I've been a part of teams like this. Let's not be them. Let's not dwell in the past. Let's continue to move forward because we have a long season ahead of us, and we have a lot of opportunities to win a lot of games still.
And when it comes to the run game, that still has not really taken off yet this season. Is it more what the other team is doing, what the defense is doing that's kind of stalling that out, or is there something schematically that you guys need to do better just to get the run game more effective than what it's been?
Yeah, I think it just comes down to execution. We can't get all the way down there and drive it to the red zone and then just stall out. We work too hard for that, and we just have to be able to put the work in and execute and focus on little details, especially when we do get in the red zone, to take advantage of all of our opportunities that we have. So it's not necessarily the things that other defenses are doing. It's not necessarily that we have plays for the defense because we expect them to be in certain formations and we run those plays. We're not executing them to the best of our ability. So once we get to that point where we're consistent and executing those plays in the red zone, then we'll be able to score points. Then we'll be a much better team, and we'll have a different result than how it was today.
You had a couple of those tough losses last year. I'm just curious what makes this group different to be able to bounce back.
Yeah, I think it's just a mindset. I think the mindset for this group is different. I think that this hurts. Obviously, no one wants to get blown out in their home stadium. It hurts, and I think that it's only there's only going to be an increase up from there. I don't see this team as being a team that just folds. I see a team that's hungry. I see a team of guys that's going to continue to work and that's going to continue to push and that's going to come in every single day and do what's necessary so that the results are better, so we can get those wins and so we can focus on the little details so things like this don't happen. So I see a lot of great potential in this team, and now at the end of the day, we just have to come back on Monday and get right back to work. You know, we have to put this game behind us. And we have to get right back to work because we got to play again on Friday night against another good team. And we have a lot more games going forward. We play some very, very good teams. But we can compete with these teams, and we can also beat those teams. We have to do what we have to do and focus on ourselves so that we can be able to get those wins.
Hey, Megan, I'm wondering just, what sort of things did you guys discuss as an offense at halftime, when you regrouping and trying to come up with more plans there, and just what do you think in the third quarter as the game kept playing out there, as that was flat for you guys?
Yeah, the biggest thing for us is just execution. You know, we proved that we can move the ball on these guys and that we could, but we didn't execute in the red zone. We had to. You know, we had a lot of turnovers and we had a lot of missed opportunities on the offensive side of the ball. So that was the message at halftime. And obviously in the second half, we didn't do a very good job of putting that into performance. So that's what our next step is being a consistent offense where we're not just having a big play for 20 yards and then getting a sack for 96 yards. You know, that's not consistency. So what can we do as an offense to grow in our consistency? What can we do as an offense to be more efficient in the red zone? And I think we're going to do a great job of working on that going into this week.
What did you see? Aiden obviously had a tough week last week in Boston, but to see the way that he responded, especially in the first half, what does that just do for you guys? I know you guys are confident in him and everything, but what did you see from him, I guess?
Yeah, Aiden has no quit in him at all. You know, he's going to come back every single day. He's going to work. He's very, very self-aware. He owns his mistakes. He owns the things that he does wrong, and he comes back to work and fixes them. And that's the mindset for our whole entire offense, and he leads that with being our quarterback. And you know, Aiden is a great guy. He's a great player, and we revolve around him. And it's encouraging to see someone like that who's able to, like you said, come back from a lot of mistakes and come back from, you know, a tough game and be able to be like, you know what, that happened, but now it's on to the next play. And that's a mindset that he has. That's a mindset that our whole entire offense is having as well. And that's a mindset that we have to have going into this next week.
We'll wrap it up with Chris.
I'm wondering for you, the running back, and the guy who's been around the program here now for a while, when you got two freshmen who come in and play significant snaps in the offensive line, coming into this game, what did you tell Raheem and Rustin to expect when you're going against the number 3 team in the country in your first real experience?
That's a really, really good question. I think for them is just, you know, continuously motivating them, you know, and encouraging them to be like, hey, you're here for a reason. You know, you came here to Michigan State to play these big time games. So you have the talent, you have the skill, but now it's the opportunity for you to go out there and put it on the field. And it's a great chance, like you said, for them as freshmen to be able to play against top defensive line in the entire country. I think that's just going to make them better. I think that's going to make them more hungry going down the road, like years down the line, for not just them individually, but really for their whole entire offensive line that are young. You have the opportunity to be like, hey, like I was able to play in this game and compete with these guys. And I think that gives them a lot of confidence going forward.
All right, thank you, Nate.